Oh, whoa, look at that. We are live on the SideQuest, your weekly journey into the wonderful world of video games, video game culture, and the geeks who like those things for SideQuesting.com. And Tyler decides to join right at 9. Tyler, that's Tyler, everybody. Welcome. Tyler shows up. Tyler usually expects me to be really late, but we were actually on time this time. Yeah. I'm Dolly Domofsky. That's Tyler. This person over here at the coolest room ever is JJ. How you folks doing? Doing good?
Oh, I'm doing good. Good.
We got an awesome show. Did want to say, remember, SideQuesting.com, SideQuesting TV on YouTube and Twitch. And thank you to our Patreon subscribers. It really is helpful. Thank you to the executive level, Punctified, PUNKDEFIED. Follow them everywhere. They've been having some good stories on Instagram about on the gram about some of the cool concerts. He just goes to concerts all the time, and I love everything that he's a great photographer too. Man. Yeah. And then also thank you to our producer Stefan Swanlin, Zero the Prototype, Exaginous, and Jeff Grubb. Thank you all. Thank you to everybody else. We have a ton of other folks that are friends of the show. Thanks, and just general good time. You can hop into the Discord and join us in the Discord. That's where we spend most of our time. You can find us. You can see our Blue Sky handles and all the other stuff. But all that aside, we have a fantastic show today because we're welcoming a couple guests. So I'm going to add them to the stage right now. Welcome our friends from Trinket Studios, Tom and Eric. Let's set this up.
Why, hello.
I have to pull my cat out of the closet. I'll be right back.
Okay.
They're out of the closet.
Perfect.
Perfect way to start this. There we go.
We are professionals. Hey, Tom, Eric, how are you guys? Welcome.
Doing great. Thanks so much for having us.
Oh, it's awesome to have you guys. We've been fans of your work, and when we were presented with the opportunity to have you guys on the podcast, I'm like, yeah, let's do it. These guys seem like they're awesome. We love the games, and which we're going to talk about here in a second. And we always like having cool people on the show, and definitely going to be.
It doesn't happen most of the time.
It doesn't. So. We're not very cool. No, Midwestern,
we'll judge at the end.
Dad, everybody's uncle. JJ's a cool one. Tyler, you're there. Tyler.
Yeah, I'm here.
In the Kingdom Hearts shirt. That's how we.
Yeah.
We're judging the rooms carefully.
Yes. Yeah. Tyler. Yeah. Exactly. There you go. Yep. It goes from JJ to me to actually, you got some cool stuff back there too, Tyler. But yeah, hey, Trinket Studios. Yeah, there you go. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Awesome to have you on. Let's see. I'm gonna put you guys. Let me see if I can drop myself down. Can I drop myself down here? I'll put myself right there. JJ, I'll put you right down there. Wow. Cool. All right, there you go. Okay. Right at the top there.
Tyler, you're an honorary member of the team.
All right.
Yes, there you go.
I'm going to learn how to code now.
Your name begins with a T, so it kind of fits in. No, so you guys have just recently put out Battle Suit Aces. I'm going to play the trailer here in the background while we're chatting. Let's see if it'll cooperate with me this time. All right, here we go. I'm gonna just play it that way. Bam. Okay, cool. And then we'll just kind of chat. So here's Battlesuit Aces. So first and foremost, welcome. I guess tell me a little bit about Battlesuit Aces, and we'll kind of get into a little bit of your guys' history.
Perfect. Yeah. So the core of Battlesuit Aces is that it's a narrative deck builder where the cards are pilots and their mechs. And we try to lean into all the mech fantasy, but also like say you upgrade your mechs and you fire super weapons and you find very, very powerful biomechanical mechs, but also it's all about the pilots. Like, this is a big story. So it's a deck builder, but not a roguelite deck builder. It's a narrative deck builder. So you're picking pilots, bringing them onto your team from different factions and learning about their stories and experiencing this like grand epic story that's kind of dynamic depending on what choices you make in the narrative and what characters, what cards you collect, and how you build your team.
Excellent. I was a huge fan of I played a lot of Battle Chef. I think I have it on like 3 or 4 different platforms.
Thank you.
It's great. Handheld is where, like, for me, just fits perfectly for Battle Chef. I think this is the same type of same type of experience. Hey, we've got some hellos coming in here and there. So when I first saw you guys were working on this, I thought like JJ, I think half our team or maybe all of our team is big into like mechs, right? We're always talking about cool Gundam stuff and Transformers and mechs and everything. So when you guys first showcased this a while back, instantly intrigued. So yeah, very cool. Couple, how long is I'm going to kind of throw some basic ones at you, but how long is was the project in development?
I think the easy answer is about 2 years. The more accurate answer is that Battle Chef Brigade was published by Adult Swim Games. They kind of like collapsed as we shipped Battle Chef Brigade, so we didn't have full control over the rights. And then we started prototyping all sorts of stuff, like maybe we won't be able to do a DLC for it because the publisher doesn't exist and won't market it. And then sort of the pandemic happened, and we ended up working for like embedding within this other indie team for 2 years. And this whole time we're like sort of prototyping a tactics, maybe card game, maybe a roguelite, maybe not game. And then when we finally left that and got back into action, we're like, oh, actually the cards should be characters and not guns. And then it was like, once we put that together, it was like, this is a game about characters. Then it was about 2 years.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool. Yeah. I mean, that's you mentioned it's a game about characters. You guys are really into, definitely the gameplay is a big part of it, obviously, but you've done so well in this character development across all your projects, really, and the whole narrative aspect and really kind of bonding with these characters. Like, how is that? What typically goes into developing the characters and kind of bringing them to life?
Yeah, so I've got a lot of freedom
Okay, cool.
with that, which is a double-edged sword because
Sure.
I can do anything, but it not all my ideas are good. But, yeah, it kind of is like they Tom and Ben, they trust me and they give me a lot of freedom to just first of all just draw and develop whatever character that I'd like. And usually it starts from the visual first. I have some kind of visual design I just want to express. And then once I get that initial concept, the personalities and everything, the backstories and all, where is this character going, it all starts to come together from there. But a lot of times it's like a visual design initially.
Oh, cool.
Eric might be a little humble here too. Like we all met at Wide Load, which was a Chicago studio founded by Alex Ropian after he left Microsoft after founding Bungie and selling it to Microsoft. He came back to Chicago, started Wide Load. We all ended up there. A month after I started, it got bought by Disney. And Eric then a month later was brought on as sort of a character concept artist.
Yeah, that's right.
And so like characters are Eric's thing, one of many things that he's extremely good at, but like characters is clearly like we should build a studio around that.
Cool. That's awesome. That you don't always hear that, right? It's let's build around these characters and start developing from there. And
freedom wise, like there's so much like designing Hulk's pants or something you can do with like we were making Disney mobile games for a bit, and it was like there's not a lot of freedom sometimes when the Marvel execs need to greenlight things.
JJ's our Disney guy, so he totally understands that.
There was a specific shade of purple his pants need to be, man, and if you're not...
Yeah, absolutely. Like we would have, I think you would call them producers, maybe, or managers that would fly from California to Chicago and walk up behind me and be like,
just hover.
I think that crystal should be purple instead of red, like that kind of thing.
Wow.
So it was tough.
So you get into this, you get into developing, more of these more of these character-based games, which I think is definitely what's kind of setting you guys apart, which I think is really cool. That's really even watching these trailers, but I think the general consensus for when I've been chatting with folks online is instantly people are just mentioning their favorite characters within within the game, and I think that's really cool. I know JJ was already chatting it in our Discord and some of the review stuff we were doing. He's like, you should see this dude and that dude and this person and that person. They're really good. So how have you guys been like with the general response from like fans and gamers and players and stuff that how are they gravitating towards the characters? Are there certain characters that they're kind of leaning towards, or are there these metas, or are there memes popping up?
The biggest thing, which is kind of fun but also kind of terrifying for game balance, there are cards that are more game breaking than others. And on the one hand, that's like bad. Like, you don't want someone to just be like, the guide for this game is always get these characters and you win. Sure. On the other hand, it's a single player game, and so it doesn't need to be balanced like a PvP game or something. And it's really fun when someone discovers like that clever strategy on their own. Like, they discover like this card and this with this item in there, against some of these enemies, it's going to work super well. That's really fun when people discover on their own. So we have the decision of like, okay, people really love this card, but do they love it for the right reasons?
For the intended purpose. Yeah.
Do they really love these characters, or they just love winning? So some of that we're still like deciding about. The live service nature of this kind of thing. You're like, okay, we could nerf that card.
The card designs are terrific. Like, well, how long does it take you guys to really? I mean, do you have months and months of meetings just kind of going through and just planning out like on? I mean, do you physically make the cards and work from that way too? And what's
early on? There's that extended prototyping phase. There was a phase when we had index cards and like little tokens, and we were playing on our table in our office. Okay. But eventually, and that really helped. The energy system really came from that period. But eventually we're like, wait a second, we keep making this into a PvP game, and the balance, that's not how you should be playing this game. Like, this is a single player game. It should be asymmetrical. Like, it's not fun if both players are starting out slowly and building up. You want to have like the roller coaster of emotions during a battle where like, oh no, the enemy they ambushed us. They have more cards out. And then you start building up your power, you start overcoming, they get one more chance to push a big wave against you, and then you crush them. And like, some battles have different flows, but you want to have that core like emotional roller coaster happening in these battles, and not just like the same exact battle. That the battle types can't be the same as like when you're playing Hearthstone or Magic against someone. It needs to feel more like you're the clever one reacting to things, not being utterly surprised.
And that's something, and again, and JJ had mentioned this, like there's it's, I think what's compelling about it, it's not just a card game, right? Like you're putting weight into every card battle, into every interaction. So it's, that is really fascinating to hear from that standpoint. It's like it's not just A beats B, B beats C, C beats A. It's sort of this real kind of storytelling built in.
It's fun to like see how the cards work with one another. Like who works best with who gives the best buff for this particular character or whatever. Like, has the best like, okay, so the drone card, the way the energy works in the game is really because everything makes sense in terms of, in a lot of card games, especially digital card games, things like mana and energy and stuff don't really make a lot of sense in the world that you're in. But when you're playing it like this, it's like, well, you're just seeing what they're seeing as cards. As the player, it's represented as cards, but to them, it's like, no, these are like your partner. This is the energy, of course, energy. It makes sense. That's how the weapons work. That's how these things work. And of course, like the drones early on, that's one of the things, the drones like load you up with energy and stuff. And it's a good way of talking to the player. I feel like I picked up on at least the basics of it, like out the gate. Like, you did a really good job, especially since you cut out a lot of the setup and sort of the fat out of what a deck building game is like. There's not, like you said, there's not a lot of the same stuff that you expect out of like a Hearthstone, where it's like, well, I gotta set up my field, I have to get my land ready, I have to
we have a habit of sort of mashing up things a little bit, or defying genre a little bit, and so we learned that really heavily with Battleship Brigade, which had a very long life cycle where you're like taking it to PAX pre-pandemic in the good old days, and you're like, oh, people didn't understand that, and like you have to really teach them, like, okay, this is how hunting works and this is how cooking works. And so I think that really exercised that tutorialization muscle, where like you got to spread things out, you got to make it interesting, you got to repeat it in multiple different ways, make it flow and not be like, learn this thing right now.
Very
Not
cool.
12 windows of tutorial bubbles that just go one in the brain and out the other. Like every time I try to learn Mahjong in Yakuza, it just doesn't work.
Yep.
Cool.
How does going to PAX, like bringing things to PAX? We never get to really talk to. We always talk to them on the show floor, but we never get to like sit down and
when their voices are gone.
Yeah.
It was there's not much more valuable than just seeing a random player experience the beginning of a game, and it highlights the problems immediately. Like the problems that we think are most important are usually super esoteric and not important to the players, and it's so easy to get bogged down in like, oh, does this card do the right amount of damage, or like, does this parallax look cool enough? But a player will come and be like, what am I trying to do? Like, how do I win? What am I shooting? How do I shoot? Like, those are the things you need to be focused on for a long time. And so playtesting, we tried to replace some of that with like Steam demos can help with that. But watching someone play is just the best by far, because it's the real thing.
I've definitely had people like look over my shoulder, like, I don't know what you've done.
Do you stand with like a notepad or just like tap on your phone?
Oh we make pages and pages of notes, and it's really hard not to react and be like, just click that thing, but you got to see, like, can they figure it out? Because that might be the hint to like the right thing to add to fix that problem. But it can be hard.
I love the visual style and the aesthetic. It definitely has that sort of, to me, it has that 80s anime that I used to grow up watching when I was a wee lad.
I'd say more 90s.
Okay,
early 90s,
late 80s, early 90s. No, but it has that really cool aesthetic that and the music too. By the soundtrack is fantastic. Who handles
that's Carlos Eni, Insane in the Rain on YouTube.
Awesome.
And that was a dream come true. Our audio director Akash the Car was like, okay, like, have you figured out who we're gonna use for music? And Eric was like, there's like maybe someone like Insane in the Rain. Have you seen him on YouTube? And Akash was like, oh yeah, he lives down the street. I can text him.
I'll text him right over.
Not even like, I was like, you know who I think would be great? I was like, Insane in the Rain. And then he was like, yeah, I know him. So that was an amazing hookup. Yeah.
That's cool.
It's so good. It's great. It's
so and good. Like he's made a couple like behind the scenes videos, like showing him, he plays almost all the instruments. There were like 6 sort of subcontractor musicians that we needed for a couple of the very esoteric instruments he wanted, and some normal ones. Like, he's not the best violinist, but he plays, I don't know, 20 instruments or something on the soundtrack. So it's so much of it is live. It's incredible.
Wow.
That's cool.
I was playing it on my Steam Deck, and I kind of just set it down, and it wasn't intentional, but next thing you know, it's just been kind of the same track has been sort of looping in the background of what I'm doing for an hour, and it could have gone on for another couple hours, and I would have been perfectly okay with that.
Yeah.
Sweet.
That's when you know your game and the music are working out. Like, I might be like trying to fix some bug, and then I just start playing the game instead of reproducing it. And I'm like, oh wait, I'm supposed to be testing right now. And then same with the music. If I leave it on, I'm like, oh, I don't want to stop like the editor play mode because I'm listening to the music.
Right. Oh, geez. I kind of brought up the aesthetic a little bit and the audio only because like it has such a cool, striking style. Like one of the questions that came in is if you had an animation studio that could adapt some of your work, like, like this or something else into film or TV, would you guys, is there like a dream team or dream company or studio that would outside of Disney, of course, that would work on your.
Hey, apparently Disney's doing a Death Stranding anime, so
There you go,
it's not
yeah.
out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah, absolutely. I have an answer for
Oh, yeah?
both games too. So
Oh, cool.
for Battle Chef, I would so this is a little, I guess, ironic, but it would be Studio Trigger,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
but they're
Awesome.
already doing Delicious in Dungeon, so it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah, that's true.
they've already covered that material.
Yeah.
Why
And
would
it's
work
like,
Let
so
them
well?
have 2 food animes, not a big deal.
yeah. You could never have enough, right?
Right.
But yeah, I think they would be amazing for that. And then
Cool.
for Battlesuit Aces, Bones Studio. So they
Bones.
did
Yeah.
Eureka 7, Space Dandy,
Mm.
Escaflowne. So yeah, that would be my picks.
Awesome. I think those are solid, definitely. One of the questions we have sort of related to, just real quick, I want to bounce back into some of the gameplay and stuff. What's sort of a mechanic or a design choice that maybe, I mean, you mentioned you had a lot of playtesting, but was there something that you guys cut or that you really want to look at, or something that you couldn't get in that you want to get into a future or a next game or next project?
The biggest one here with all these characters, we wanted to have more character relationships, like sort of like dating sim stuff, but also like friendshipy kind of stuff, more of the dating sim style mechanics. And we just did not figure it out. Like we wanted to, a big thing in our design was like, we want the gameplay, like the card gameplay, to influence the story and vice versa. So if you're like, I love this character, you're going to like get more of their story. And so we have the like ambition system where like your card, if you sort of like per card achievements, if you do their like main thing really well, then you can unlock their crew mission and go deeper on their story. And as you upgrade them, they might comment more when you're in like on the ship about what's going on, and you'll see more and more of them for just somewhat making those decisions. But we didn't get to the point where you're like giving people gifts, and then like be like, these two are now best friends and there's a super combo move they can do. We like never figured out how to make that, like when your cast is this large, it was like, okay, how do we do this? and we were already way out of scope this whole time. So stuff like that really felt like we had to cut it fairly early on, but it would be really cool with this cast to get deeper into those relationships.
Way out of scope is probably something that happens a lot when you're developing a game. You're like, oh man,
Oh, yeah.
Parking lot that for the next one. Is there like another? I mean, you've done chefs, sci-fi, battle mechs, and you're mentioning a lot of story-based stuff, which I think is cool. Are there other themes or sort of genres that you guys would be exploring? I mean, I'd imagine you probably have like several stacks of paper and books of stuff that you've already been noodling on. So I know you can't give away too much, but I'm just curious if there's been other types of things or influences that are popping in.
We've definitely had a sort of a lot of inspiration from TV shows. Battle Chef came very much out of Master Chef and Iron Chef. And like we would pitch it as like it's a fantasy cooking competition. But I don't know what and Battlesuit Aces came out of obviously a lot of anime, but also Star Trek was our big like pandemic rewatch.
Yep. We all did that,
so
yeah.
that was like, for a while Battlesuit Aces was called Mech Trek, and when we were pitching it,
Cool.
which I still maybe still would have been the best name.
It's actually a really good name, to be fair.
Yeah.
But,
we're hoping to get the battle thing between our.
I was gonna say,
two
is that
games
is the end game to make battle just sort of like the
That's a good
actually
like, theory.
Our end game was actually like our first mobile game was Color Sheep, so we had C, and then we had Battle Chef, and then we're like, let's do an A game, because every now and then games get like listed in alphabetical order, and we're like, well, we're at the top of this alphabetical list, but we could not come up with an A name. So there's like, I would guess like something from TV, like reality TV is something we haven't explored, and it's like
there's the Love is Blind game.
Yeah,
hard-based 90-day fiance.
90-day fiance.
Yeah, like there's something like it would be really fun to make a game like that, because it just wouldn't be serious at
Yeah.
all.
that'd be a blast. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, for myself, I think I'm really into westerns. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, that kind of atmosphere and setting. I don't actually know if that would translate well to the type of game Trinket makes, but yeah, that's a cool space.
Sweet. I think westerns are sort of coming back into style pretty quickly here with a lot of the stuff. That's sweet. Yeah, there you go. I'm trying to think. I've been trying to think of like 3 words: battle bride,
Battle horse saloon. Battle horse saloon. There we go.
Yeah, there you
saloon.
I'll
Battle
send you my
horse
address
I love
and
it.
check.
Battle horse brides. Take both 90 Day
combine them.
Fiancé and
man.
westerns. There
Yeah,
you
it's
go.
like that's just
Oh my
Ume
goodness.
Musume.
Date those horses.
Yeah.
Maybe the horses should be mechs.
There you
They're
go.
battle
Yeah.
horses.
Oh, yeah, the mech horses.
Okay.
We have ruined Trinket Studios.
Yeah. I'm
Well,
sorry.
Yeah.
The infection has started.
Well, hey, definitely wanted to thank you guys for hopping on today, talking a little bit about the game. It's out now. It's been out for a couple weeks. You can find it on basically your platform of choice. We're gonna have definitely more to say about it from our end, but it was awesome. Here, I'm gonna just kind of get us all on the stage here. Bam! It was awesome to chat with you guys. I'm looking forward to dive. I haven't jumped in yet, so I already have it saved. I'm wish listed on my Switch 2 over there, so I'll be hitting the button. It's actually funny.
My wife has been like bugging me for like a Christmas wish list, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll add this somewhere. I think it's digital only, but yeah, I'll be like, eShop gift card, give me.
Yeah, there you go. All right, now I know what to give you for Secret Santa, an eShop gift card to pick up this game. Well, Tom, Eric, it's awesome to have you guys on.
Thanks so much.
Where can we find you guys in the studio?
We are Trinket Studios, so that's everything. It's Trinket Studios on Blue Sky, Twitter, Facebook. I don't know, whatever the kids are using these days. Instagram, TikTok. And you can find like silly versions of ourselves and some of the game on TikTok. But yeah, I'm Trinket Tom on there, and Eric is Trinket Eric. We're really simple.
Cool. We'll be sure to follow you guys. Awesome. Thank you guys again. I'm sure we'll cross paths again real soon.
Thank you so much.
We'll send all our horse western dating game pictures over to you guys.
The gears are turning.
Yeah. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Wow. Fun.
That was cool. That was awesome. That was a lot of fun. That was very cool. Thank you again for them to hop on. I know we got Taylor and Zach are gonna be hopping on now. So very cool. I'm super excited. I know JJ, you've been playing it for review, so I'm excited to hear your actual thoughts. We'll do that next week.
That's next week. That's next week.
Yeah. Can't mix the streams there. But yeah,
you can't cross the streams.
Can't cross the streams. But very cool, very cool. While we're waiting for Taylor, I'm actually going to play our theme music. I had forgotten to play the actual theme music. So here's a theme music.
So excited for guests.
We got so excited for guests. Yeah, I'm going to start playing it. This is how white dads dance.
I should do Goofy's dance from the hot dog dance on Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
You mean Goopy's dance?
Yeah.
Dance.
Gooby.
Yes. Gooby. Awesome. Very cool. Oh, and Taylor has
Oh wow. We're getting hot scoops from inside Valve's
you know I had to do it to him.
He had to do it. Yeah, Taylor, you missed out on an awesome show.
I'm sorry about that.
It's over now. We're actually signing off. Actually,
yeah,
perfect.
We're all just gonna go play Battlesuit Aces now.
Yes, we are. I'm gonna put that down there. That way, I can. Let's do. There we go. Gooby. Very cool. Great to have you on, Taylor Bliss.
Long time no see, buddy.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
I figured we can have Taylor hop on live from the Valve Lounge. Oh, so no wonder Taylor's been missing because he's been at Valve talking about
the chess set that's over there.
Designing
the chess set. It was 6 months.
Oh,
6 months chess
in depth.
Oh
wow. Very cool. Well, I'm gonna kick off because there was some big news that broke this week. So let me share. I don't know if you guys heard about this big news, but the Mario movie. No, I'm just kidding.
Swear to God.
We may. No, I'm just kidding. It is Valve has a new console and new series
everything.
It was an announcement of 3 new pieces of hardware to
play button there.
I guess what's their PR spin? That expand the Valve hardware ecosystem.
Yes.
It's an interesting one.
Do tell.
So they announced 3 things: a controller, probably the least interesting. Well, not the least, they're all interesting in their own way.
I'm excited for it compared to like the old Steam controller.
Yeah. They're all Valve special boy, or girl. I'm not here to judge. So they announced a controller. It takes the kind of design tenets of the Steam Deck, a little bit of the original Steam controller, but you could argue that the original Steam controller influenced how Steam Deck, it's a time is a flat line. So a new Steam controller that has the touchpads like the Steam Deck has, gyro, capacitive touch capabilities, except now it's also on the back. And I don't think there's really much else to really say about it other than that.
Hall
effect joysticks, I guess. They're calling
out
it
of a Steam Deck and made it a controller.
Yeah, they're calling it the next step of Hall effect. Actually, they're saying it's a something above it. I don't really know exactly what that means.
But like magnetic. TMR is the other.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, they're using magnets to control the levers instead of electrical pads scraping against each other. So that's the first little bit. It comes with a dongle. My guess is I'll throw my pricing guesses in here as I do them. My guess is $80 on the controller.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I don't think it's gonna be less than that. Especially if it comes with the puck, is what they're calling it. They're calling it a puck.
Yeah.
Let's see what else is next. We'll go with the Steam box. We got the box. It is a 30
GameCube.
Everybody's latched onto the GameCube.
I love it. It's an Ouya.
It is. Isn't it what the Ouya wished it could have been?
Really,
upon a time.
Yeah.
Because didn't the Ouya run Linux?
Yep.
It's Android.
Was it Android?
Android, which is kind of a brand.
Wow. Then we'll get to the Android part in a bit. Yeah. But yeah, so this is running a 30-watt TDP, 6-core, 12-thread Zen 4 processor. So it's a desktop processor, not an APU, which is an interesting choice. APU being what they would put in a mobile system, like what the Steam Deck has, like what the ROG Ally has. All the handhelds have mobile APUs. Even actually, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, also mobile APU. Well, not mobile because they're consoles, but they're APUs. And the biggest thing about the APUs is that they have, and I think this is literally the last time I was on the show, I talked about APU technology for like 15 minutes, and Dali was like, "Get the fuck off the show." But they have shared memory, right? So your CPU and your GPU all pull from the shared memory. There's certain advantages to that, one of which is the fact that it's much faster to talk between the CPU and the GPU because they share the same memory bus. But there's certain other disadvantages, which means that they can hold each other back and stuff like that. So this is distinctly a desktop processor, a desktop CPU. Video, stop showing the headset. I didn't get to that yet. I'm talking.
We need these as separate videos.
But no, you don't have to do that, Dolly. That's
I am. Sorry, dog.
We could have listened to that guy. His voice was
right.
like almost like more svelte than mine. But so it's got that. It's got a desktop GPU. Closest equivalent looks to be like a Radeon 7600 based on compute units. I'm stealing from other people who made YouTube videos and who actually got to go to Valve headquarters for real to talk about this stuff. And they're the ones that I'm taking mostly this inference
That is
from.
such a funny transition, between the Silent Hill F footage and then like what they do after if you've played the game.
Yeah.
That's distracting every time I see it.
And so that thing's only got 8 gigs of VRAM. A lot of people called that one out pretty fast, especially because Valve toted the line of it's 4K 60 FPS ready, which 8 gigs of VRAM isn't really marked for outside of a very select games. It suggests of something specific when you make that claim, and then 8 gigs of VRAM is like anyway. 16 gigs of DRAM or LDDR DRAM, which is am I saying this right? Oh, it says DDR5. I thought it was laptop memory on it because of the small ITX form factor. Well, sub ITX because it's custom. But maybe I'm wrong. The Valve site only says 16 gigs of DDR5. It does not specify laptop memory or otherwise. And then, like I said, 8 gigs of VRAM. Comes with two different SSD sizes off the bat, 512 or 2 terabyte. 512 is comically small when you get into a desktop form factor, but like whatever. And then the last thing is the headset. Now the headset this one's been known about for a long time, codenamed Deckard. We basically have known for a fact that they were going to make another headset and that it was going to come out eventually. What we didn't know is that it was going to be based on a Snapdragon processor, which is a mobile chip running on ARM architecture. I get to talk about ARM versus x86 now. Yippee. But so Snapdragon, if you like care about phone specs, which I feel like is super, super niche, is a cell phone processor. That is what, it's an Android chip. Obviously, Apple's not using them. And so it's running on like a 2013 to 2014, mobile phone CPU.
Quest 3 is a Snapdragon as well.
Quest 3 is also running on it. So the difference here though is that Quest 3, people that made games to go on Quest 3 had to develop them natively, right? They had to make a game that was made for the Quest 3, which, one of the reasons why the Quest 3 was successful is because people were making games for it. This implementation that Valve has done is interesting because, eventually, I'm going to talk about this for like a bit, which is that people aren't making games for a Snapdragon version of the Valve frame, which I think is the official name, right? They're calling it Valve frame.
Yes.
Yeah.
Steam frame. Not the Valve frame. And so, people aren't going out and making games for the Steam frame. They're making games, and what Valve here is implementing is SteamOS running on Arch Linux, which is running natively on the headset on the Snapdragon CPU. So what we're going to end up with what we are ending up with is they are implementing another, I was going to call it another translation layer, but that's incorrect. So Wine/Proton is a translation layer that translates stuff from Linux or for Linux from Windows. This is an emulation layer which translates x86 calls into ARM64 calls. So this goes deep into processor architecture, how those requests are made to the CPU itself, and that kind of thing. Like with any emulation, there's CPU overhead on it. And so they've been working on it for quite some time. We know that they've been working on translation or emulation layers for ARM stuff because they've had known contractors submitting code to the FEX GitHub, which is an open source repository for this emulation layer, since 2023. So they knew that it was like, or people scouring the internet knew that Valve had put in some sort of monetary contribution or, personnel contribution into it by paying people to work on it. We just didn't know what it was going to do. And I actually found a Reddit thread from 2023 in March. Somebody properly guessed that, somebody was like, yeah, we're probably going to see an ARM Steam Deck in 5 years. And then somebody literally says, and this is the date on this is March 30th of 24, their next VR headset Deckard will most likely be the first to use ARM. So kudos to Life is Mana on Reddit, because that
somebody go tag him in a Reddit post and let him know.
I actually was surprised when I went and I was looking up stuff on FEX because I wasn't super knowledgeable about it, and I was actually surprised that there wasn't somebody who has already at this point gone in and replied and be like, how did you know? But yeah, I mean, you can go back and you can see that there's been lots of contributions, especially between 2023 into late 24, building up FEX code submissions and stuff like that on their GitHub. So it's clearly something that's been ramping up. But what's interesting about it is that in the same way that Valve's dedication to Proton and gaming on Linux via the Steam Deck bolstered gaming on Linux overall, it will likely do something very, very similar to ARM and gaming on ARM and releasing kind of some barriers to entry on getting games to run. ARM is probably one of the most populous CPUs in production and in distribution via Android smartphones. I mean, technically, Mac and their M1 and that architecture is also ARM. It's just not going to work the same way because Mac likes their walled garden. But, there are some things that could be implemented. It's not impossible to conceive that somebody's going to fork FEX, or maybe FEX is working on it internally on their team to make it work natively on the Mac ecosystem. Whether or not Mac would allow it, or whether or not Apple would allow it to happen is a different story. But yeah, there's tons of repercussions on this. The headset is, I forgot that I was supposed to talk about the headset too, is a fully wireless headset.
Yep.
It comes with a Wi-Fi 6 dongle. So it's not occupying over your native Wi-Fi to function. It has a Wi-Fi 6 dongle, which handles connecting to your existing wireless network. And then it has a dedicated Wi-Fi 6 band that goes between itself and the headset for game streaming. But in addition to that, because it's running Snapdragon, because it's running SteamOS natively, it can also run the games directly on the device. I would guess that the battery life doing that is going to be shit. It's going to be really bad. It's just, I
see on the default of it, it has a wire that's going around the side. And that's exactly what it looks like if you buy the battery pack for the Quest.
Right.
So
I was going to say, there's going to be some battery packs like that.
Well, so that cord that's there is already for the built-in battery. So they designed it very clearly to kind of avoid some of the weight issues that notably the Vision had when Apple deployed their headset, which is that it was very, very front heavy. And so this is built from the outset where the battery is in the back of the headset. And it's basically acting as a counterweight more than anything else.
Yeah.
Will somebody figure out how to make that battery bigger? Of course, that's exactly what they're going to do. That's inevitable. But yeah, I mean, the Vision, I think, it's so cool because of what Valve is going to do from an ecosystem perspective. It's so uncool because of the fact that VR has so little. It feels like there's so little future for it at the moment.
Maybe they're doubling down on it.
I mean, maybe that's just the hopelessness I have because nobody's done anything interesting in a while. But I don't think that having ARM opening up the ARM ecosystem isn't going to move the needle on VR adoption and functionality, right? That's not going to be what breaks, moves the needle, really. So I don't know. I think that the cube is going to be the tough one. I think it's the most interesting part for people that like to try and convert more people to owning
Linux.
I mean, yes, in a way to Linux, but more to get people that are on deck and like a deck, but are still console people.
Yeah.
Can't can't or don't want to do desktop PC building.
Did you read that in one of the interviews where they said that one of the major pushes they had was they saw that a lot of people just plugged their Steam Deck into their home console, like their home entertainment center, and just left it on.
Yeah. I don't know how
they
much
have a dock.
I don't know how much I believe them, because the docking experience is like
not optimal.
It's kind of rough.
And like you still can't go above like 800p, which I thought like, maybe docked it could go like a higher resolution like the Switch, but like no, you can't get it above 800p. And I'm
they
like,
heard one guy say that, and then they're like, like, oh wait a minute.
Todd, we'll have to have a sidebar on that one, because you can definitely. I've done 1440p on that.
Okay, maybe I'm doing it because I literally I plugged it in and I started Kingdom Hearts. And I was like, oh, it won't let me go above 800p. Okay, that's fine.
you can do above. I've done everything up to 4K. We'll talk about
the dock is not useless.
No, it's not. I think the dock is like physically capable of 4K 60, but so the box is an interesting method to try and pivot to get, the whole idea is that it has an SD card slot. You can pop your SD card out of your deck, put it into the cube, and the games will work there, because it's running the exact same SteamOS as what your deck is going to run. There effectively is no hindrance on that. It has the same sleep and resume features that a Steam Deck has. So you can literally press the button, put it to sleep, and you can do a quick resume. I remember like 3 years ago when Deck first launched that they had talked about trying to get sleep and resume to be able to transition from device to device. And I wonder if that's still a pipe dream to be able to move it between not necessarily a Windows machine, but maybe a cube to the deck, because they're both running SteamOS. Maybe that's
OS to OS. Yeah.
Right. Maybe that's a possibility now. But the same thing is possible with the frame. It has a micro SD card slot. You can pop it in there. And so the other part of it is that I think they're pivoting for the cube to be a base station for the frame. Now, the problem with that idea is that the cube is a little underpowered with 8 gigs of VRAM to deliver 14. I think it's at least 1440p each lens with 144 hertz. Again, I have my doubts on whether or not it can truly do that for all the titles you might want it to do. So, but other than that, the ecosystem vision is definitely real, and they might be able to make it happen. I think that the cube needs to, I guess, I don't know. What do we say? I'm not going to release mine yet. I'll put it this way. What do you guys think the price would need to be if it was going to be like, holy shit, I didn't think I was going to get one, but if they're going to put it at that price, I will.
For me,
for you, Dali. I want to know.
Yeah, no, for me, I think the cube. I mean, $499. I'm running to the store. I will sell an arm. $599. I think is, for me, that becomes a really, really kind of good sweet spot. Knowing it's probably not going to be that cheap, but $599 for me is I am definite. $699 personally is, well, I have the laptop and the laptop functions and it's got a screen on it and I have my Steam Deck. Mm-hmm. So $699 is maybe a little bit out of my range, but $599 that hits it for me. That's will it be that? I don't think so, but that for me is the number.
JJ, is there any number for you?
I mean,
that was wonderfully put.
No, I mean, I'm kind of in this. Like, I won't bat an eye at $600 for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I'm kind of at $600. Like $600, I'd be all in. $700, I'm still me. So
yeah, true. Yeah.
I'll end up with
you
it.
You did buy a ROG Ally before.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I have the Z1 Extreme. I have the Z1 Extreme ROG Ally, so it's yeah, but yeah. As long as it's less than the PlayStation 5 Pro, I think you can convince me.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Ty, what about you?
Yeah, I also I'm glad we're all on the same wavelength. $600. I actually think like maybe 4 years ago, $600 would have been like the easy guess, but now with the current situation, with
climate,
who knows what with the climate, I don't. $600 is probably not reasonable. But 700, yeah. Like, I'm also like, well, once we talk, and I'm like, well, maybe I can get the Steam Deck on the dock to run better than I initially. Which I didn't put a lot of work into it. I just plugged it in for like 2 seconds and made sure it worked. But because I was like, yeah, I could maybe replace my PC because I don't game on PC a lot. But it's like it'd have to be definitely sub 1,000 before I consider that. So, otherwise, I'll just upgrade this laptop.
I want to chime in because I know Taylor, you're gonna get to this here too, and maybe this is the lead in. I think they're gonna sell this sucker at a loss. Like, I think they're aiming to sell it at a loss because they want you in that Steam. Because now that you got Xbox games, you got PlayStation games on there, they want you in that ecosystem. They're gonna make more money getting these smaller, PCs out to people that aren't necessarily the core gamers. Now you will have a cute little freaking box that is your PC, right? That's what the Steam Deck was. And I know the Steam Deck hasn't been like the highest seller compared to consoles. And this won't be either. But for them, I think you look at the Steam Deck, the original Steam Deck, the one that I got was like $399 or $349. It was pretty cheap, like comparatively speaking. Now,
they launched at $399.
They launched $399, and it, comparatively speaking to what's in there, I think that's a great price, and even today. And I think so. I do believe like they want you in that ecosystem. They're willing to take a bath on this. Valve makes money on games, and they know, especially now with one less console maker out there, you need a third pillar. You need somebody to offer an innovative third option, and making something affordable, I think is very smart. Now, granted, of course, this has been in development for years and years and years, blah, blah, blah. But I think for them, they understand, really the only thing that's affecting the price isn't like, I think they're going into this thinking they're going to sell it at a loss. Trying to understand what the tariffs are going to do that. But I think I'm guessing $599 I could even see them going down to $499, but I'm guessing like $599 will be $499. You won't be able to keep these in stock at $499.
Yeah. If we want to use the Steam Deck prices as a comparison, the LCD one is $399 still. The 512 OLED is $549, and the 1 terabyte OLED, which is what I opted for, is $649. So, you're cutting out a screen. That's definitely going to, especially an OLED screen, that's going to bring the price down. But, also, I'm not sure how much.
But the Xbox ROG Ally is 1,000.
It's so crazy. So,
Taylor, you're in Valve right now. Tell us what they're thinking. You're actually
So I'm sure there's a clipboard or something that just has like $699 question mark, right? Like,
I will say that so my general thought is that, and I'm copying out because this is a wide range. So I think that the most likely answer here is going to be between 500 to 700 for the Cube. I think that if they can get it under 500, specifically I think that if they can sell not under 500 as in 499, that's 500. I'm talking about if they can manage to launch it or land it at under 500, so basically 449 or less, essentially. It's like it would be unbelievable. I don't think that they're going to manage to do that. Right. They frankly kept it at 8 gigs of VRAM. They have said this publicly during the event that they had, where we launched the news Was that just yesterday? Holy shit.
Time, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
And so, and they basically said that like we kept the GPU to 8 gigs of VRAM for cost. So if we're shaving that much, like 8 gigs of VRAM, I mean, I don't know what AMD sells them for, but 8 gigs of VRAM is like $28 for AMD. And so even at double, that's $50. Which is reasonable margin numbers, right? So realistically, AMD is making selling the GPU and with its RAM in a package, and so if they're selling that in a package and they're doing it for double the GPU VRAM cost, and the GPU VRAM cost is about $25, so they're selling it for $50.
Yeah.
So if $50 is going to move the needle significantly, I don't know. Maybe that actually that pulls it down a little bit, because they're trying to hit a number and they couldn't hit it at $50 more. That's how I interpret it.
Sure.
So what does $50 more mean? Is that bringing it from 500 to 550? Is that bringing it from 550 to 600? I don't know. But I think that if they can get it at $499, it would be incredible. To answer, we got a couple of questions in chat that I would I'm gonna answer real quick.
Exaggerate.
There was a white variant of Steam Deck at one point. It was like a special edition, I think.
No, just a special.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say there was a special edition. I just don't.
It was just a limited, and I would
Yeah.
expect that they're going to drop a limited with a faceplate on this. You know, we've watched the video 8 times because I've talked about this for so long, and so we've seen that you can clearly pull off the faceplate.
I want that e-ink faceplate that they said was just for testing, but that is really
it's gonna be
cool.
modded to hell, right?
Yeah, I mean,
that's
somebody's gonna figure it out. So don't worry, you just gotta wait.
Yeah.
But as far as customizability,
hey, you got it. Yep.
yeah,
that's
did I
the
get
word.
it?
That's the word.
Yes,
Yeah.
I did it.
I bet you can go into the Steam options and customize that little light bar too.
Yeah, so they said that the addressable LED bar is fully customizable. The storage is just a NVMe drive on the bottom of it, so you pop the cover off, and not only does it have the small NVMe key, which what the Steam Deck uses, it actually has a space for a full 2280 NVMe M.2 drive. So, you know, as long as we don't get fucked on pricing of NVMe storage in addition to DRAM, you can definitely do that. In regards to RAM, technically speaking, they are on non-soldered. I believe it's non-soldered.
It's glue. They're gluing like a lot.
They're
of crap.
glued.
Yeah,
Holy
there's a lot of stuff that's
shit.
glued.
Glue.
We haven't gotten full visibility into the board.
Yeah. Well, there actually are a couple videos out there with some really good breakdowns.
Yeah, we have seen what it looks like without the shield on.
Yeah.
Entirely. What we have not seen is what it looks like without the gigantic heatsink.
Majority
the
of
heatsink is like 80% of the box.
Yeah.
So it has a 120 millimeter fan on the back that basically pulls air from wherever it can and blows out the back. But we don't know what it looks like on the board itself. We'll probably either have to wait until Valve releases a teardown video, or it goes to reviewers and they'll tear it down. But it is very likely that they're, you know, if they didn't solder it on, which doesn't seem like a thing that Valve would do in my opinion, you have to with an APU like on the Steam Deck. You can't, there's no way around that. But if it's just laptop memory or if it's just desktop memory, yeah, you could. I mean, I hope that there's just modules that we could replace. I don't know if you would want to, because DRAM is like 2.5 times more expensive than it was 18 days ago. So probably don't plan on doing that at the moment. That's actually the biggest question for me, is how much contracted RAM does Valve have? So this is supposed to launch in early 2026. If they didn't contract out like 2 runs of hardware, There's a reason why they didn't announce pricing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if they did not secure enough modules of DDR5 RAM, it's going to be brutal. 16 gigs of RAM right now. Did they have clock speed on the specs? I don't think so.
No, I didn't see any.
No, they didn't put clock speeds. Bastards. This is why I don't get invited. Exaggeramus, yeah, they probably will come down again. The problem is that we don't know when, because OpenAI just booked out 3 years worth of DRAM wafers from Hynix and I think Samsung, who are like the two major producers of memory chips. So we don't know when it's going to come down. Hopefully soon, but soon. TM, Val's favorite. So yeah, so the customizability looks good. I don't think we're going to have any problems on that. I think the power supply is built in. I noticed the power supply.
Yeah, I think I
Backport.
remember like a Blue Sky post like no brick or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, people don't like brick transformers, so I get it. It's crazy to fit a power supply inside that thing, but and then yeah, I think that's it. Oh, I guess pricing on the headset. I don't know. Maybe 800. Maybe it doesn't have the towers anymore. So
Yeah.
there's less hardware costs to it overall, I think.
Yeah, I was thinking 800 myself on that. That's the VR guy. Like
As the VR guy. Yeah.
Oh, the question is, are they going to sell a bundle? Are they going to sell are they going to sell a headset and cube bundle?
I would.
I think you do. If I'm Valve, I think you do.
I think they will.
Let's be real. Valve just plops this stuff on the store, and they always have bundles for every stupid thing.
Well,
so,
that's true too. Well, I think that the cube really moves if they secure retail partnership, and they have.
They don't have it in the US. They have it in.
They do actually, because they got Steam Decks in Best Buys.
Do they?
They did.
I think they were doing refurbs through Best Buy.
They were doing the refurbs.
Well, they did refurbs through GameStop for sure.
Yes.
I could have sworn, I'd have to go and check. I didn't do my
on their website right now to check Steam Deck.
I thought that at one point they had a run where they had retail presence.
They have they have the ROG and the Legion Go. There is no Steam Deck.
I thought they did. But anyway,
you're wrong.
Wrong.
They actually do have like pop-up stores in around.
Maybe it was just a pop-up thing. I don't remember.
Maybe.
But yeah, I think you need the cube in retail. Ideally,
I think so too. Yeah,
I would hope. I would hope that's at least.
I mean, they managed to get them in. They managed to get their original box in Best Buys, didn't they?
Yeah, because I bought one at Best Buy.
I was gonna say I definitely remember them being at Best Buy in the first go around, because that was like right. It was 2014.
I think I remember seeing them at Target. Even I think they were selling them.
I was gonna say like Best Buy or something like a lock-in, but like, are they gonna get them into Walmart? Like,
but I think that was also a case of there were a lot of different.
There's too many SKUs.
There were a lot of SKUs. No, I'm saying there were a lot of different companies putting the Steam machines out.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Why they were able to get in everything.
That's what I mean by too many SKUs as well.
Too many cooks.
It's a plus and a minus. If you get the additional hardware vendors, maybe somebody helps you get into retail, but at the same time, it completely fucked up.
It does sound like from what their
so
PR said, their emails, some of their stuff, their spec sheets, and what folks have talked to them in some of these hands-ons is that they're looking to utilize the same sort of avenue of the Steam Deck sales wise. So you'll buy it through Steam initially, and I'm sure maybe they'll keep an eye on it for later. Valve has not been a brick and mortar friendly company apart from the buying the Steam gift cards type of thing. So
and Half-Life and Orange Box, like those.
Half-Life and Orange, that's true.
Literally,
that was a different box.
That was a different time.
That was a different
publisher. I think Microsoft published the Orange Box, didn't they, or someone else did?
I think
Portal 2 also had a physical release on like console.
That's
so.
true. Yeah, you're right.
I
Yeah,
remember Gabe
I had it
coming
on
out
PS3.
for Portal 2.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, I don't think there's
I
much
like
else
that
to add to it. I don't
I
know. What do you
like
got,
that
JD?
the Steam Frames controllers are almost 1-to-1 with the MetaQuest controllers, except they gave them a normal human being layout with a D-pad instead of. But they look almost identical. It's weird. I don't know. Is it just a free thing you can print out for that mold?
That's a good question. Yeah, might be.
Wait, does MetaQuest not have a D-pad?
No.
Huh. I guess I mean they're trying to make it game compatible. I mean, you look at the post and you look at the site for the frame, and it's very clearly you don't have to only play VR, man. You can play whatever you want. And they make a very big point of it.
Yeah.
The demo that people played, from what I've read, there was two things that people played that was native on the headset. And one of it, so 50% of it was Hades 2. So, one, and there was, so basically, if you're demoing it and one of your two games that you're demoing is a non-VR game, that tells me everything I need to know.
They're really pushing frame mode on that thing.
They are.
Yeah.
By the way,
we'll see. That's going to need to get into people's hands to figure that one out.
Shove Half-Life Alyx onto it by default. Just kidding.
Ship it with?
Let that be their pack-in.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Steam Deck came with that weird Valve. What was that desktop thing that they did for the Steam Deck? I forget what that was called. Like the desk companion. Like, it was just supposed to be like your at work desk at whatever. Yeah.
By the way, check it out.
Hey.
Guillermo del Toro, Gabe New. Guillermo
have you ever seen them in the same room?
I have never seen them in the same room. Gabe or Guillermo, I don't know. I thought it was interesting. I mean, it was just a huge week. Everything's been kind of circling around that, so I think it's definitely important to. We're excited.
It was crazy.
I wanted to. I'm glad it happened because I was starting to put the notes together of how we're in a very dark time in gaming, and not because of layoffs and things like that, but just a general lack of innovation that's been happening. Microsoft has been chasing Sony. I think the reason the Xbox hardware sort of failed isn't necessarily the games aspect. It's that Microsoft has been chasing Sony since the PS3 and not necessarily doing a ton not doing a ton of innovating on what they're doing. They went for the innovation more on the services side rather than the kind of fun,
it's too bad because the Connect failed, and then they were like, you know what, fuck it,
we're done. Exactly, yeah. Because
they did stop all whimsy. There was like
we got nothing.
Yeah.
The win, like the front pieces, the attachable front Xbox 360 covers were
avatars.
Silly. Yeah, they were silly, but they were great. And then the Avatar stuff. You had Kinect. You had one version. You actually had like Xbox motion controllers with like one big button in the middle that was for like one game, and that was it. But
technically speaking, they were chasing Nintendo as well, because
they were chasing Nintendo
Wii era. But
that was, at least they were innovating. They stopped hard innovating when they went to the Xbox One. They faced that backlash for some of their services side, and I think I think it was justifiable because people wanted to see more of the hardware innovation, not necessarily just services stuff at the time. And they just never recovered. They've never recovered. They haven't done like fun stuff,
on the Xbox One with bad press of you can't share your games, you can't do it.
Well,
you can
the
plug your cable box into
the other part of it that's tough is that all of the things that we all just said is 100% applicable to Sony. It's just they're not hurting for it.
They're not hurting, and they're ahead. They were ahead, so they stopped thinking, we don't. But then you also look at like Sony does these weird ass Portal Sony
Yeah.
does the.
That's
They
true.
have they just announced. The
So does
screen.
Xbox. Hello, they partnered
rock
with
LA Xbox.
they partnered with Aces to make a
Yeah.
make a handheld.
But I would I think the yeah, it's $1,000 versus $150.
Yeah.
I think Sony was just so far ahead that they didn't have to do. And you had Nintendo doing Nintendo stuff, but Valve now brings that innovation back, and I think it's cool because in their video they said, hey, you can here's a cover that we're not going to sell with an e-ink display. Everyone's like, what the fuck, this is awesome. And then you have like the companion cube from D brand. They're like, hey, we're going to make a companion cube case for this. You're going to have that be extremely meme friendly, and people are going to be 3D printing these things. We're going to send our specs to JJ, and he's going to print shit out and meet us at PAX. By the way, this could potentially be out by PAX in March. So yeah, I think it's all.
It would be really cool if Valve went to PAX East.
Yeah, they've never been. I don't think they've.
I don't think they'll do that.
They want to. Oculus was way back in the day, and we all got.
That is true. I remember that was my the first time I ever tried VR was PAX East 2012 or something, 2011 or 2012.
But it's great to have Valve back because they even in their marketing video that I was playing, it was basically like, install a different operating system. We don't care. Do whatever you want to do after you buy this thing. And that's cool. That's the way
I will say I genuinely do think it's cool, but at the same time, God, does it feel like it is fucking? It just feels like it's just people that harp on it, they just slurp it up, and I'm just like, okay, guys, listen, it's nice, but we don't all have to say the same thing over and over again about how great we think everybody is because we weren't Microsoft. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, there's definitely some people that take the Valve love like a little bit too far.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is, like I said, it's just great to get a little bit of innovation because it is a totally completely different avenue. Than
right. I will say there's nobody else doing it like this. So, it, and in the same ways where at least, I mean, I said it for like 4 years, which is that Xbox needs to lean into bridging the gap in between their console and the PC, because they very clearly kept trying to make an effort to own PC in addition to console, and they just didn't do it. And then Valve turns around, releases a handset, and then it's like, oh, cool, people like this, and then they're like, all right, well, just redo it again, except now it's all on Linux instead. The idea that Microsoft is kind of eating its own tail or Boris style because of privacy concerns and many other things on top of it, and is the fact that now is the time when Xbox is looking to shift closer to Windows instead of further differentiating itself is interesting, because Windows is less desirable now than possibly ever.
It's less desirable than ever.
So to have Valve come in and be like, hey, you guys heard of Linux? Oh, it doesn't matter if you have by the way, it doesn't matter if you haven't.
Not only is Windows less desirable than ever, but like it is not desirable at all for anything below like laptop like size. Like you don't want a console running on Linux. On
true.
You don't want a handheld running on Windows.
The handheld's experience on for Windows is bad. It's not good.
It's not even like acceptable, honestly.
No, it's just it's awful.
Just straight up bad.
It's straight up bad.
I've seen videos of like people like basically getting stuck on like the Windows Hello Pin login screen on their ROG Ally, like not being able to get a virtual keyboard up to put in anything.
Steam was cooking when they were like, Steam plus X, and you get the keyboard. It just works. That is the one thing that's never
Apple's
broken.
old slogan. It just works.
It works.
And I'll exit with this one, which is I lost it. I forgot it. I was going to say something. I was really close to having a point.
It was going to be real poetic.
It was good, man. I just remember.
you've really put some things into perspective for me, and I appreciate it. That's
Oh, JJ, you're so sweet.
Cool.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. I remember now. I'm not letting you leave, Dal. You're stuck in here. We're in the octagon, buddy.
It's actually a cube, not an octagon.
Yeah.
The squared circle.
So the one thing that they'll still be battling, and maybe they're just trying to do it as a war of attrition, which is that competitive games, specifically focused on FPS, that has moved. That needle has not moved. So that shit will not work on any of this stuff unless you install Windows on it, which of course you can do. It removes almost all of the interest and intrigue on it because for all of the aforementioned reasons. But yeah, I'm assuming even the new hotness, Arc Raiders, 700,000 concurrent players or whatever they're hitting these days. Doesn't work on it. Right. I should check that. I should not make that claim without knowing for sure. Arc Raiders.
You got me thinking about Valve and
Steam Deck.
Yeah.
Valve
Steam Deck compatibility unknown according to Steam itself, which means little because the game that I'll be talking about later also says Steam Deck compatibility unknown.
Anti-cheat. Lenovo.
Oh no.
Lenovo. Easy and so yeah, maybe Arc Raiders. I chose the wrong one. But anyway, that's really funny that I chose just that one. But your Call of Duties, your Battlefields, your Riot games with Vanguard and shit like that, that ain't gonna work. So it's actually crazy. I'll have to look into that, because if that runs on Steam Deck, that's actually kind of nutty. The fact that they were like, yeah, Linux is cool. We love it. Yeah, the game's developers have confirmed their commitment to providing support for the Linux and Steam Deck. Is that true? Or is this Google AI fucking me?
Is this Google AI?
Just do the equal no AI or whatever it is for the UI.
I know. I don't think of it at the time, and and by then it's too late.
The first thing shows up. Yeah.
Anyway, just do want to point that out. I mean, I'm hoping that what happens is that Valve just keeps making the case for it. It keeps gaining momentum. A lot of this stuff is a lot of the companies that don't allow it to work on Linux is their choice. There are functioning easy anti-cheat. There's functioning BattleEye that can operate on Linux, and they just say no because we can't verify kernel integrity on it, and so we say no. Anyway, what do we got? Let's talk about something else.
Okay, real quick, I got one here. Another little bit of breaking news that happened this week for those of us who like to go to cinema. The Mario Galaxy movie shared the first trailer.
We got a new trailer, right?
We got the first real trailer. Found out that Brie Larson is Rosalina, and Benny Safdie is Bowser Jr., which is just wild. But yeah, this picks up.
Yeah, all right, man. Why not?
Tiny, why not?
Yeah.
I will say this. I follow Brie Larson, and she posted on her Instagram. She's a massive gaming nut.
Oh yeah, people have been pegging her for that's what we were afraid of. But for Samus, yeah.
I can see it. I can see her. This is her foot into Nintendo cinema. But she posted a video from back in May. She had a chance to go to Super Nintendo World and Universal Studios when it opened, and I think the Florida one. Anyway, she went back in May and did a video from inside the glowing tunnel there and said, by the way, I'm Rosalina, and then held that video for the longest time until that's pretty funny. But yeah, it's cool. Comes out in April. I'm sure I don't know if this will make $1 billion, but
there's going to be some fall off, I would assume.
Yeah,
it's going to be tough.
But
I don't know. I mean, they can market the shit out of it and maybe turn it up.
Yeah, I mean, you got Minecraft's Jack Black in this, so you never know. But
yeah, I mean, it's a Mario movie Why not? Like,
It's
if you
yeah,
like
it's
the
a
first
Mario.
one, you're gonna like this one probably.
You'll
I'm
probably
excited
like
for
this
it.
one more because the first one was very basic. At least this one
Yeah,
seems to have a
I
plot.
think it's gonna
to it.
be kind of like the Sonic 1 to 2 like jump
Yeah.
up of like Sonic 1 was like fine, it was like better than you expected, and then they're like, okay, now we can bring the real weird shit in from.
It is funny they felt that they had to do a whole origin story for the first Mario movie when they could have just said yeah whatever. But no,
Yeah.
what is interesting is that they're definitely, while that first Mario movie was basically Mario 1, Donkey, early Donkey Kong stuff from Donkey Kong Country, and then like Mario Kart. This is definitely getting some of the newer, because you have Mario Galaxy, obviously you have Mario Wonder aspects in there. Mario Sunshine is in there. So there's even some Mario Odyssey stuff is in there. So they're kind of pulling from a few different areas.
I love that they're mixing it up like that. There's definitely some weird people on like Reddit that are like, why aren't they doing Yoshi's Island next? Just pure Yoshi's Island. And it's like,
interestingly
Mario
enough,
has no canon. Who cares?
shut up, exaggerating. Interestingly enough, they didn't show Yoshi in this, although Yoshi has leaked like crazy. So
on some like cookie stuff.
yeah,
I think it was
and I think
cookie.
Old Spice. as well.
Yoshi Cookie, hello.
Yeah, Yoshi.
Why are
There
they
you
doing
go.
Yoshi's Cookie first?
Yeah, the Yoshi's Cookie movie. But yeah, there you go. The Mario movie. I'm sure we'll hear more about it when as time rolls on. But let's get into some of the games that we have been playing, because we have been playing a lot. And before we do that, I just want to say that let me transfer myself up over here. Sorry, Tyler, move you there, and I'm gonna show you guys.
Take everybody away.
There you go. Let me hide the comments real quick, because your boy, how, not that we're not sponsored by 5 Hour Energy, but they definitely like us. In fact, I think we're gonna be podcasting next week with Brian from 5 Hour Energy, so he's gonna be our guest on the show. Our next guest. We're trying to do guests more often. But I got sent to me the Purpleberry Punch.
Oh, officially, actually,
MockMelon Brew. The official, actual case.
The licensed boxes.
Yeah. So the Purpleberry Punch, which was the other one that we tried last time. But this is my first time doing the melon, and I'm taking a 5 Hour Energy at 10:30 in my time.
I was gonna say, are you serious?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a sippy sip.
Get out your eye dropper. Get out your
Mountain
eyedropper.
Dew with you in solidarity, because I don't have a 5 Hour Energy. They didn't say.
There you go. I'm off tomorrow. I was off today. I'm going to Motor City Comic Con. Let's see. So it's cool. I like the design. I'm very glad that they've they're hailing, or they're loving. They're going all in on the Outer Worlds 2 stuff, which I still got to play, by the way. Let's try it. Yeah, it's kind of a smooth. Ooh, you know what? I might like this more than the Purpleberry Punch, because it definitely has that kind of smoother mango flavor to it.
I just like mango flavored stuff. They had it at West. I tried it at West. It was very good.
I tried it at West right after I tried the Purpleberry Punch. So maybe I shouldn't have crossed the streams there. But yeah, good. All right. I'm gonna finish it tomorrow morning instead of coffee. So this is the 5 Hour Energy Outer Worlds 2 MockMelon Brew. Did I say mango, melon? Maybe it's a little bit of both. I don't even know what it is. Good. Whatever it is, it's good.
It's because the PR explicitly says mango, so you know that.
There you go. Good stuff. Good stuff. JJ, do you want to go first? You've been playing a really, really kind of a fun game.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Because I mean, like, I don't know how to start this.
Yeah, you've been playing
guess what?
What's the name of the game?
I'm playing what might end up being top 3 game of the year for me. Lumines.
Okay. I should have known. I don't know why I was surprised.
I think you even said I'm talking about Lumines tonight, and I was already like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, Lumines Aries. This is the sort of I guess in a way, I mean, the follow-up to Tetris. I guess like, because like it's everything about this is exactly the same as Tetris Effect, except now it's Lumines. And Lumines is, in my personal correct opinion, like the second best puzzle game ever created. I love Lumines. I've been a big fan of Lumines since the PSP days. A rhythm Puyo Puyo kind of in a way.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. So if I don't know, has anyone played Lumines before?
Yeah,
Is
I have
I
not.
had never played it before.
Oh, really?
I own it. I think I've maybe put in like 5 minutes prior to this game, which I'm playing as well. By the way, I'm playing this as well. Yeah. That was it. Go ahead.
So it's horizontal instead of vertical, which is very uncommon for a puzzle game. Everything's usually a drop it in the well kind of thing, unless you're playing like Clax or some nonsense. But it's got a sort of, you can see if you watch these trailers, it's got a little bar that's going across. It's sort of like the rhythm. It's that's moving at the correct rhythm of the song, the beats per minute of the song. So you're trying to create a block. You want to get 4 shapes together.
Why is it releasing on PSVR 2?
Just because it's
also
it's
VR
Sony.
game.
Why not?
Like,
Okay, all right.
VR.
Sorry, I derailed you for no reason, JJ. Sorry.
Yeah, no, and Tetris Effect was a VR game.
Yeah.
This
is Enhanced, which did Tetris Effect. And,
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. So this is exclusive to PlayStation and PC.
Okay.
For now.
But anyways, so you're trying to create a pattern of 4 of the same shape, color, whatever the effect is on the board that you got right now. And you kind of want to have chains. So when that arm crosses over where you've created your chain, your blob that'll go away, you see when they get big, that when that line crosses over it, it's going to take out that big part that you've made, and will take some of the matching colors along with it and stuff. So it's dropping everything down, it's adding to your score, and as they're dropping, everything's sort of chaining together, and you're just trying to keep you want to keep ahead of that bar. So you've got to sort of time yourself in with the rhythm. So you want to sort of like maybe hold stuff a little bit up top. I mean, you can't hold it forever, but you want that bar to pass, and then you're going to start dropping your stuff. So when it comes back around, you start clearing your board again. And it's just a matter of getting into a groove. It takes a hot minute. If you've never played Lumines before, it takes a hot minute.
Even if you haven't played it in just a minute.
Yeah.
Like, because I played a bunch of Lumines back on Vita, and I was not ready for my brain wasn't there.
Yeah, it's asking you to use a completely different part of your brain than like a Tetris does.
Yeah,
that's why I compare it to Puyo, because Puyo is kind of doing the same thing, because it's really a game about chains. Because just getting rid of one brick isn't really going to do a whole lot for you. It's going to start stacking up fast. And the faster the songs get or whatever, the more beats per minute kind of pick up, the harder time you're going to have. So you kind of want to look 2 or 3 steps ahead. You want to look at what your next couple of blocks, what your bricks are, and move on. It's hard. It's really, you're thinking, you have to think 2 or 3 spots ahead at all times while also paying attention to the rhythm of a song. It's a lot, but I absolutely love it. It's one of those things, just like Tetris Effect, it's really easy to just kind of get like locked in on this game, especially with how good the soundtrack is.
The soundtrack is really good.
This soundtrack is
fantastic.
It's so good. Like the Tetris Effect soundtrack is like an all-timer to begin with, and this is just like more of that, but like it's used differently. These guys, man, they know how to make weird music games, and
what's fantastic about this? Yeah, no, I was gonna say what's fantastic about this for me is someone who I wasn't a Lumines guy, even though I owned it. Diving in as sort of a first time Lumines player, like it takes, like you said, it takes sort of a second to click. But man, when it clicks, it is like, it just freaking rocks, man. It's like you get locked into doing stuff where it quickly becomes muscle memory to get through this, because it is rhythm based, like a rhythm based puzzler, and you're just like bam, bam, click, click, bam, click, shift, turn, click, and you're like, okay, I get it. And it's so it's almost difficult to break out of that mode, because the minute you're like not playing the game, you start doing things in rhythm around your around your house, because that's just how that's what this game specifically does. They've done such a good job of making so much of it really flow so well. And I'm loving it. Just like I said, the ability to hypnotize me while I'm playing it. It can be rare in games. Like you can zone into a game and play something, but you're actively hypnotized when you're playing this. And I think that is, from a gameplay standpoint, that's just awesome, because you're completely locked in. I haven't played any multiplayer. I don't know if you've had a chance to play any multiplayer.
I have not.
Okay.
I'm not interested, to be honest. I just want to play. I just want to play Lumines.
Me too. But oh god, it's so good. So good. They nailed it again. They, like you said, they kind of take these, give them Tetris, give them a different anything, Res, give them anything, and they'll make it awesome. Like they'll just they'll do it. So good.
Okay, are we done? Can I go play?
Can you go play some Lumines Aries? No, we got a couple more things to talk about here. Tyler, thou hast been playing a game as well.
Yes, yeah. So I thought tonight I would maybe talk about finishing Digimon, but I haven't yet. I am right at the end of I'm at the point of no return, and like straight up like 30 side quests have like just unlocked at once. And I'm just like, I want to chunk through these. So I'm like taking my time, getting the, I'm like, okay, I've been playing this like 4 days in a row. Maybe I need a break from something. And Jake in our Discord just like randomly tagged me about a game that I had not heard anything about. Came out on the 11th, just kind of under the wire with a big name attached to it. Junji Ito Maniac, an infinite Gaol. Which is apparently like means like jail or prison or whatever. But no, it's a very small like little horror game from Soft Star Entertainment, who they have actually done a lot of games. I think they're a Chinese
I looked that up too. I was like, wow.
Yeah. Like a lot of like random voice love on air, a lot of stuff I hadn't heard of, and then all of a sudden like, oh, they've got Junji Ito somehow. But essentially the story is you're like this paranormal investigator guy who's lost his memory, wakes up in the attic of this like very distinctly Western style mansion. It is like very Western in its aesthetic. A lot of random like paintings and stuff around. And he just doesn't know what's going on. And then everything from Junji Ito's Maniac is just sort of happening at once. You've got headless statues chasing you. You've got you can see in the trailer the head balloons from that one. You've got Tomie, who is apparently a major character in like some of the Junji Ito stories, like talking to you and stuff like that. And he's just trying to get out. The front door is locked, and you're just trying to get out. Very small, very basic. There's no combat, but you can like kind of deal with enemies. You can collect like hunting traps, bear traps, essentially, and like basically like trick them into running into them, but they take forever to like set up. Or you can like defeat them with traps in the environment. You can push a suit of armor on them, or drop a chandelier on them. So you're able to take them out and stuff like that. So that's nice. The combat is still like kind of the most annoying part of the game, because it kind of is just getting in the way of stuff. But there are some good moments. There was a really good jump scare that got us, where just a headless statue was behind a door, and I just ran in merrily and just got choked out. But it's been surprisingly good too. The story has been pretty engaging, and even though it just feels like a greatest hits of like Junji Ito stuff, it feels like it works, and it kind of almost makes it feel like all of the Junji Ito stuff exists in its own like singular universe, almost like they're almost doing like a Stephen King thing. Like, hey, all the Stephen King stuff actually is in the same universe, weirdly enough. It almost feels like they're trying to do that with Junji Ito. You can find notes that essentially was like them researching other stories from like Maniac and stuff like that. and I'm not as read up on Junji Ito. My wife has read like a lot of stuff, and she's like over there on her phone, like, wait a second, I think I remember this story, and pulling it up, and like, oh yes, it's this one. There've been a lot of good puzzles, ever since I wrote my thing about like puzzles in horror games. I've been like, what puzzles are in here? And there's some really, really good ones here that actually like made us think for a little bit, and one that we solved on accident, and then I had to go back and be like, wait a second, how did that work again? I'd take like an extra 5 minutes trying to figure out how it actually worked. But I've been really impressed with it. Pretty short. I think we're 3 hours in, and we're like maybe halfway through, according to like it's not even up on like how long to beat. I've been looking at like YouTube full playthrough and like kind of judging where we are on there, and maybe about halfway through. Runs really well on the Steam Deck, even though it is like unknown for verification. We have not had any problems with it at all on the Steam Deck, and it's been perfect to play in bed on that. So I've been really enjoying it. If you like Junji Ito, I think it's worth checking out.
It's wild looking, yeah.
Especially for the normal price I think is like $11.99, but it's on one of those like introductory sales until the 25th of like $10.79 for $10. Like, why not? Like, I bought that almost as soon as like Jake tagged me in it. I showed it to my wife, and then
he didn't even tag me, and I bought it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if you've started it yet, but we've been really enjoying it. But yeah, check it out if you like Junji Ito stuff. Maybe I'll even check out their other game, because I see like The Bridge Curse. I'm like, okay, you've impressed me enough to even look at your other game. So good job, guys.
Very cool.
For the record, Gaol it's pronounced jail. It's just
it's just jail. Okay,
it's the same word.
I thought about looking it up beforehand, but I was like, okay, wait a second.
So this is, or at least for me, the big thing was because they're called, there's GAOLs in Elden Ring. There's the little crucibles or whatever they are. But yeah, it's just pronounced jail. It's just the old British spelling of it. They were like
the old British spelling of it.
Yeah, I found it on Merriam-Webster dictionary. Chiefly British spellings of jail. Yeah. I've been like meaning like for like half the day to Google that, and I keep getting distracted with stuff. And I was like, I Googled it like 2 seconds before Dolly like introduced me to talk about it, and I'm like, wait a second.
What correct? What Taylor, what have you been playing, bud?
Pretty sure it's goals. What have I been playing? Great question, Dally. Thanks for asking. I'll be here next week. No, I'm just kidding. I won't. I probably won't be. Actually, listen. I would love to. We'll see how it ends up. Let's see. What have I been playing since the last time I was here? Probably a shit ton of. No. I put in a bunch of hours into Metaphor Refantasio.
Okay.
When did I last play it? Last month. I played it last month.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, last played October 18th. So I felt like I had to take a little break because I was going hard. I was going hard on it on the little free time that I have.
I haven't played it yet, but like Persona games will like play like real hard and then take like a month or two break.
Yeah, and Metaphor hits all the same notes. So it's still good. I liked it. I mean, it's nice. I've played very few games that, not that Atlas game. This is funny to pivot this before Atlas, but like since I redid my PC and did the custom water loop and all that stuff back in August, I haven't really played anything that's particularly graphically demanding, and it's like Metaphor was it, and it works very well. I played the Digimon Story Time Stranger demo.
Okay.
I forgot to put my hours in. I'm at like 78 hours, and I'm like at the end.
That's crazy.
I've been really enjoying it, but I've been a big Digimon fan for ages. So
I put in like 50 hours into Ball X Pit.
Oh man, that's magic, dude.
Ball X Pit rules.
It rules.
I'm on New Game Plus on Ball X Pit.
Excellent.
And then I had picked up Monster Hunter Stories 2 when it was on sale a little while back, and so put a little bit of time into that. It is indeed like Pokemon with monsters instead, but I don't know. Zach's already had this discussion, so I don't need to rehash.
I still want to check it out whenever I want something of that flavor after I finish Digimon. I just
It's a
finish Digimon and have at least a few months break first.
Mm-hmm.
you still got to
Finish
farm
Digimon
monsters.
and then start Digimon with a different flavor. There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. And speaking of, only because I forgot about this, and I meant to mention it before when we were in the news, but I forgot, which is the fact that Dota 2 announced a collab with Monster Hunter,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh, yeah, I
Um,
forgot about that.
Wild, man.
which is so weird.
Mhm.
So to put it in perspective, the Valve has done like 4 IP based crossover events,
Mhm.
like ever.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah,
the last one that we could think of, because we talked about it in the Discord briefly, was for Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah,
And
the
that shit
Half-Life
was
outfits.
and that shit was like 10 years ago.
And it wasn't
So-
even that, because they didn't go as far as like Assassin's Creed or anything where they had like a full like quest line. It was just outfits, I think, right? They
Yeah,
didn't have
it was just a cosmetic thing.
yeah.
There are, well, I mean, then again, so is with Dota, but yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one. I cannot fathom the reason why this happened. But
Some guy knows some guy, and it just happened.
well, I will say
Some guy knew some guy.
Capcom is pushing Monster Hunter really, really hard right now.
Mhm. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I have also seen, and Zach probably posted about it in the Discord, and I'm not remembering specifically right now, but I know that there is, it's on the rumor mill that there's a Monster Hunter MTG set coming.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a
okay.
good
So-
choice for them after what they've done so far with Magic.
So I would imagine that that's going to be a commander deck with some specific stuff coming. But anyway, that's
No, yeah.
that's what I got going on. That's plenty of gaming. I technically got into the closed beta of a game that I think I'm technically on NDA for. Let the mysticism wash over you.
I wonder what the half-life of that one's going to be.
Yeah, if you think I'm getting into Half-Life 3 beta when they wouldn't even invite
Right,
me for like the major PR shit, then you are sorely mistaken.
Well, you're right there. Just turn around and yell at Gabe.
Yeah,
I am 45 minutes away, Gabe. You couldn't.
Yeah. There you go. All right.
they
well,
better fly me in before they bring
Yeah.
you.
I've got a couple games I've been playing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get into. The
Like
first one right here is an auto
Ball
battle.
pit.
Yeah. No, I've been playing that for sure. No, so I've been playing it's sort of an auto battler game called Vivid World, which is, I didn't know this, it's a sequel to a game called Vivid Night. And Vivid World is kind of a roguelike auto battler. Essentially the point is, and it's interesting, I'll kind of get to why, but you start this character who's lost all of her friends, and she has to try to rescue them, but they've all been turned into gems. So your goal is to kind of go through this world and find your friends and rescue them, and kind of do a little bit of the because it's a roguelike, there's definitely some gacha involved. There's some there's consistent runs that you have to do over and over again. Like I said, it's a procedurally generated world, and you're attacking enemies. It's not turn-based. It kind of is turn-based, but not. You're kind of just flipping the gems, and that kind of handles that aspect. But I've been weirdly enjoying it. Like, I'm not the biggest auto battler fan, and this is definitely, there are backbones of this that are mobile, PC. I think the original game is on Switch and some other platforms as well. But I do like the depth of these kinds of games where you can start to develop your teams and so on. The one hook of this is that because it's a roguelite, some roguelike aspects, you could be building up like I had a cool kind of samurai team going. And then all I got after I got like my first 1 or 2 samurais was just like Viking, magician, Viking. I'm like, I wanted to build those samurais, or I get a bunch of pirates or something. But So you have to kind of collect the get the soul fragments, build up your party of heroes, and then you can merge together, which is kind of a big aspect of a lot of these types of games. You merge the heroes together and sort of stack them, and they become more powerful. That's how you can do upgrades. And you go in the shops to buy more. Use the gems you can use the gems in a weird way to like. The gems are the characters, but they're also like a weird bit of like currency. But you get enough of the characters together, you get these cool combos. What's wild for me is that it's bright and like colorful and poppy, but it's this really sad story. It's kind of like a sad story because you've lost your friends and you're trying to find them, and it's like there's these dark undertones of what this plot actually is. So you're kind of balance, and it's a very personal story. They're definitely trying to balance a story into this rather than just make it a typical one battle by battle auto run type of thing. But you're going to the floors. There's boss fights. There's a little bit of balance issue here and there that I've come across. Like if you don't have the right combo of characters that feed off of each other, you will hit a wall very quickly against especially some of these boss battles. Like you can blitz through the regular battles, but then the combos are called unions, I believe. They can, if they're not lined up right, you're not going very far. So a little bit of a head scratcher there from that standpoint. So that's something that just running head first doesn't really work well. You have to kind of plan out a little bit, and then kind of there's a little bit of the luck of the draw. But I mean, if someone's into these kinds of games, and they might love this. It's not necessarily trying to do anything new. It's just a refinement of a refinement of a refinement in this genre. And it's all about the character building aspect, and keep building up your character, keep stacking them, and getting more and more powerful samurais and pirates and heroes and teammates, and then you just kind of go from there. So and then again, just that story, this kind of sad story that goes along with it. So Vivid World, it's I'm playing on Steam, so yeah, interesting there. I'm also playing weirdly enough, I'm playing DLC for a game, and this is a game that or a bunch of games that I grew up playing, and when they said, hey, do you want to check out the DLC for the Atari collection, the Atari 50 collection? This is the Namco legacy pack here. I jumped at it because I am a huge fan of those classic Namco games. So again, a lot of the same vein of what they do with the Atari 50 and what Digital Eclipse does with these, which are more like game preservation. It's like the Criterion collection of these classic games. But I love just the history of Namco, because even Namco doesn't talk about the history of Namco. Like it's so fascinating.
They're very deep in Bandai right now.
Exactly.
Like Batman pops out sometimes, and that's about it.
But Bandai doesn't even care. So it's wild. Like the as you kind of follow along, Namco and Atari, for the most part, have had a good relationship, right? It's the Atari trying to go to Japan and start up a Japanese arm over there, and they figured, let's do it. Let's get that going. And meanwhile, you have a company started by Masaya Nakamura in Tokyo called Nakamura Manufacturing Company. And he was this dude that just refurbished and cleaned and repaired those coin-op horse games, right? So he just kept doing that. Eventually started making his own coin-op horse games, changed Nakamura Manufacturing Company to Namco as their branding. And you get to find out about that in this, which is really like, I love this history lesson stuff. Again, they have posters, they have work documents, sketches, and you find out the history. Like in 73, Atari, like I said, Atari tried to get to Japan. They failed. Luckily, Namco was there to sort of take up and the distribution, and they kept that partnership going. And then after a while, Nakamura said, why don't we start making our own games as well? And that's where stuff like I think 78 Galaxian came out. Galaxian is one of my all-time favorite classic arcade games. So I was so happy to see it in this collection, because I that was probably the very first game that arcade game that I ever played, Galaxian. It was a very early 80s at Detroit International Airport. I don't even think it was called Metro Airport at the time. I think it was Detroit International Airport, and picking up family members as they flew in from Eastern Europe. And so it was awesome, Galaxian. And then that's obviously the sequel is Galaga to Galaxian. And then they also created, I think in 1980, they created Pac-Man, Puckman at the time, because it didn't really have a name. And it just kind of went from there. So this collection has a bunch of different variations, from arcade versions, from the VCS, PC versions, and it's really cool. And it works through sort of the first set of these Namco games through to like the early 80s. So I think the games that are included, obviously Pac-Man, Galaxian, Galaga, Xevious, and Dig Dug. And I think that's basically it. It's not a ton of games. It focuses on those variations. Again, for like I think the DLC is usually like $7 or something, $7.50. But it's pretty extensive for what it is. And it kind of ends on a little bit of a cliff note, because it'll say, it says the end, or is it, type of thing. So I'm wondering if they're actually going to get into some of the rest of the Namco stuff in a subsequent pack going forward. Because I think there is quite a bit. Namco games, Pac-Man, Galaga, like those were the arcade games. Yeah. Atari had Pong. So I think it was really cool. Anyways, I loved hearing about it. Loved hearing about how they brought Pac-Man to the VCS, especially focusing on how they like found out, like they have so many cool folks that they're interviewing in videos in this, like Nolan Bushnell's in there, a bunch of other folks. But realizing that they could use the flicker that was sort of a problem on the VCS, that became how the ghosts were animated in a way. So they use the actual like box of the issues, the limitations of the Atari VCS/2600 to make it a cool product and work within that. And then of course you have
to make one of the worst video games of all time.
Listen, that was I played Pac-Man religiously on the Atari 2600. Like I couldn't make it out to the arcades, but that was home. Like you played arcade games at home with Pac-Man. There, you see the video right there. You played the arcade version at home, and for you, that was Pac-Man. Like for me, Pac-Man was what was on my Atari. Pole Position was on my Atari, but it's not that. Galaxian, all these games were the arcade games. We were kids at the time. This was Pac-Man. So it was just a cool way to show how they were able to pull it off. And they have a lot of that. And by the way, you're seeing a lot of the pictures in here. The artwork and the concept art for Pac-Man was incredible. What they did to advertise Pac-Man for the VCS from the initial concept art was like, it's bonkers. It could be, I'd love for them to make like a game or a movie or a TV show based off those original pieces of concept art. Like they go.
We need a new Namco museum, is what.
Yeah,
we need.
They really do. They like the one we're used to seeing is the released one, which is like the tall, skinny, big, giant yellow orb dude eating the red discs. But they have that in here. But prior to that, there were so many levels and versions of Pac-Man concept art that was just incredible. Anyways, yeah, this is really cool. It's great to kind of play some of these older games again. Surprised how well they still play for what they are. But again, it's a Criterion collection. I love it. I watched all these on the Switch, plugged the Switch 2 in, and they work fine, and it was good. So yeah, the Namco Legacy aspect.
I respect Namco's dedication to making Xevious a thing.
Yeah.
Like since they've been re-releasing Xevious nonstop. Yep. And nobody buys it, but they keep, because I think Xevious is even one of those like GBA Advance NES classics. They just Xevious 3D on the 3DS. They just keep shoving out Xevious games.
Yep. It's so good.
I really like the idea of it's especially because I think Mortal Kombat does this as well. Like it's more like a documentary, but then you also get to play the games as well, because it's like listening to that, I was like, I always like to just have a Blu-ray and just watch this documentary, but then it's like, well, you know what? Why not just put it on a game disc and just let me play the games as well. I can.
Well, that was the thing with the DLC, this Namco DLC in
Yeah.
particular. Is that I always complained, and I think on the original release, I'm like, it's cool that we have this, but they're only showing the good side. They're
Yeah.
completely ignoring the garbage. Like, it needs to be warts and all, and by including stuff like Pac-Man 2600 was considered one of the like 3 main perpetrators of the 83 crash. Like,
right.
it's just they made $1 billion of it. It sold like shit and nobody liked it. So, you know, into the New Mexico desert they went with E.T. and I forget what the third one is at this point. But, yeah.
But I mean, it's just great to the history aspect of this is awesome.
Yeah.
I'd love one big, like when it's all said and done. And I know they actually did re-release the Atari 50 with like the first season's worth of things. Just give me a big box set with every bit of DLC down the, like put it all in one. Yeah, leather-bound book, because I would freaking love to own that.
I do like that in general they're including, like, you know, in all these collections, including like the bad games, because I know the Mortal Kombat collection has their bad games. Bubsy just did Bubsy. That's all bad. So
yeah, you have to, because that's what makes the actual game special, you know, to understand the development process, what was good, how things changed from then. Like porting was more intense. Porting was more important back in the early 80s than it is today. Yeah, today, because we have unified development backends and stuff, you know, you have languages people work with, Unity and Unreal and all that. But back then it was like you just had, all right, hey guys, we got a copy of the game on the cart. Let's reverse engineer it and try to make it work for this other platform. And that's really what a lot of it was. So yeah, the Atari 50, the Namco legacy. JJ, I know if you don't have it, you're probably gonna get it, but it's worth it. Cool.
Oh yeah, I got it, buddy.
Rebundle it. Give me a complete edition.
I mean, they've rebundled it every time they've released a new DLC, so it'll be rebundled again.
Yep.
I'm a patient man.
Yeah, and I'm hopeful that they're going to show one more. We're going to have sort of the last bit of this.
But I wouldn't be surprised if they do a game the big crash. Like
do it.
That would be cool.
They just repackaged. This is the fucking dingiest shit we could find.
Here is
all in one deal.
Somebody's got ET out there, man. I mean, it's rights exist. Yeah.
I mean, Microsoft and a couple other folks made that documentary. Put that on there too.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, if you can't find who has the rights, put it in the collection, and they'll figure it out on their own.
If you can't find the rights, find the wrongs. That's what I always say.
Now I just need Sega to re-release Sonic 06 and do a big documentary on it as a bonus feature as well.
That would actually be really fun. Recontextualize bad games with documentaries. Hell yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Just make a documentary about it too. I'll buy it.
Atari 50. I have also one last little thing. I'm gonna open up a card pack.
Yeah.
Ooh,
JJ, you've done this, so I'm gonna open up.
Yeah, I got this. I got this alt art Gold D. Roger while Taylor was talking about ARM architecture. So
you got a guy with arms.
True.
All right, let's see what I got here. I do like the bright red. So we saw these at Target. Yesterday we were shopping for a birthday present for someone and had some gift cards. We're like, you know what? We needed to use up the stuff on the gift card. We had like $10 or $11 left. So I'm like, all right, I'm getting
exactly this pack of cards was 100% because I had $7 on a gift card.
Yeah, legit. That's really what it is. That's all it was, which is kind of nice. All right, let's see what I got here. So I have York.
I've also only seen like the first 30 episodes of One Piece, so I probably don't know any of these guys.
Hera, the stupid brightness. Hera. All right,
it's okay. The good stuff isn't until the back, anyways.
Yeah, Amatsuki Toki. I got Oro Jax. I do like the color of the cards, the frames. Gum. It's a Gum Snake Shot, which is kind of cool. Shaka. Oh, Emporio. Look at that guy. Nice. Classic. Nico Mamushi. Nice card there. I got Edison. I really wish that the stupid lighting was better so I wouldn't blank everything. Okay, now we're getting the good stuff. Gum Elephant Gun And then we got Boa. Look at that. Ooh, there you go.
Boa,
and we got the 5 elders.
Oh,
we got
shit.
4 of the elders right now on the podcast. Those are my cards. I collect these just to collect them. I love the artwork, and I keep my cards in binders because they're always very pretty to look at. And I do like the back. Look at that, just very nice.
I'll commit and watch One Piece one day.
There you go.
My Hero Academia is ending, and I'm like rewatching it and letting the final season in. Maybe after that.
I mean, you can start if you just start today, watch one episode a day. You'll be done by the time that it probably wraps up.
You'll be done by the time your child graduates.
Yeah, exactly.
It's definitely faster to just read it.
Yeah.
I like having voices and music with my stuff. I've read manga before, and then I just always get distracted. And then I read just enough to like hit like where the next season ends, and then I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna rewatch this as an anime now.
Well, if you read it, you can get into our super secret group chat on.
There you go. I'm not even in.
No,
you're not caught up on One Piece enough.
Nope.
That is 100% true.
I am not. I've just started watching the anime though, so we'll see. Anyways, let's wrap this sucker up. We have knocked out 2 hours. Thank you again to the Trinket Studios folks. It was awesome to have them on. That was today.
Yeah.
No, it's great to have them on talking about Battlesuit Aces. We'll talk about the game probably next week. Thank you to JJ. Thank you to Tyler. Thank you to Taylor and myself for joining us. Thank you, Zach. It was always good to have you on. We will definitely be chatting up more over the next few weeks here as some of us are finally getting some more days off. Yay, finally got some more days off. I can start getting back into it. But
I got
SideQuesting. Yeah, SideQuesting.com, SideQuesting TV on the YouTube and Twitch. You can see our Blue Sky and other stuff there. Hop into the Discord because we have a good time in there. That's where you can find our super secret chats on all this cool stuff and all our game discussions. Also, the Secret Santa, which we have 8 people in there now. We're going to get a few more. I know we have until the 25th of November to join the Secret Santa. So if you're in the Discord, hop on in. And I do want to say congratulations are in order to Blissful Games in the SideQuesting 2025 Fantasy Critic League. There is essentially no way that you can end up. You are 20 points. You have maxed out your games right now. You are 32 points ahead of the second person, which is Zach, and myself. You're basically, you're 32 points ahead of both Zach and I. There's no way that
I ended up doing much better than I actually expected.
Yeah,
I genuinely expected to be dead last, and that's just not going to happen. I've got one game
that's zero.
left.
Zero is dead last. Yeah.
Oh, Dispatch finally scored. Oh,
yeah.
That must have happened like today.
I think it finally did. Yeah.
And my last
I'm at
game,
the very bottom because I joined in June, and I'll have to start next year, I guess.
Yeah. See, I had 2 90s, which you think would be great, but then one of my games didn't release, and I did, and
that's true. I win because all of my games released.
Exactly. Yeah.
I've got one game left. I've got Call of Duty. That's tomorrow. That'll boost me up.
Critic.
You are the critic. We're gonna get you a crown or a title that says you are the.
No,
critic.
you got to make an alternate version of the best gamer alive. Sure.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go.
Don't curse
best
me.
Critic alive.
Best critic
alive.
Yes. Okay, we're gonna.
I've got the best gamer alive shirt. It's great. I love it.
I'm still going to get to. You keep thinking that, buddy. You keep thinking that. Actually, technically, you are tracking to be second there, exagenous, because you have a Metroid Prime 4 that could be.
Yeah, Prime could
be launching
because what is it? You get double points for everything above a 90. So
yes, yeah.
If it's like, who knows? Maybe if they blow it out of the water, it hits like a 94.
The only 90 I think is Silk Song. So you got 22 points.
Yeah, because that thing carried me. You guys remember back in the day when we did this draft and Silk Song? They were like, Silk Song's not coming out.
Yeah.
No, actually, we got Trails in the Sky first chapter DLC from Zach. That was
and Split Fiction.
Claire Obscure.
I got Death
Bounty.
Stranding as a 90
Yeah.
and Split Fiction as 90s. Okay. Oh, I got the two
Yeah,
90s and I still lost.
I think Claire Obscure got the highest of our boards, right? With
Yeah.
92.
Yeah.
It really
Is it
really
92?
awesome.
Yeah. You're gonna join next year for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll need to learn the rules. I only like barely know the rules of everything, and I'm just like, all right,
Yeah,
teach
no,
me
it's
your ways.
super
I'll
easy,
join
yeah.
in.
Trails in the Sky scored a 90.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What do we
There you
what
go.
do we
It is
think?
a
What do
good
we
game.
think?
I need to finish it, but it's really good.
Yeah. What do we
What's
think
that,
Call of Duty is going to end up at? What do we
Yeah,
89.
Anybody had
That's
Call of
just
Duty?
below the ranking. I did. That's my last
Oh,
game.
did you? Oh, that's your last
Yeah.
game. Okay.
My guess is it's gonna like 89.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know. People that like Call of Duty like Call of Duty, so
Yeah.
You know what's crazy is that nobody picked Hades 2.
Oh, really?
The
Yeah,
top.
I think everyone just kind of thought it was going to stay in early access. For the rest of the
Yeah,
year.
I think
yeah.
that's what I'm assuming.
Yeah.
I'll just call Kingdom Hearts 4 every year until it finally comes
Yeah.
out. That's my strategy.
Hades 2 is gonna be, at least as on Open Critic, is it's the top game, which
Of the
Open
year?
Critic is
Yeah.
what drives our
Yeah.
fantasy critics. So
Fair. That's fair.
I gotta pick it up. I'll pick it up.
All
Anyways,
right.
all right. I'm letting you guys go.
Yeah.
Love you guys. SideQuesting.com. See you in the next episode. Bye. Take care.